Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unmasked by Toltec Wisdom. Today's episode's title is Domestication of Human Beings. We are starting this podcast with domestication of human beings so that by the time I finish sharing my knowledge and experience about the domestication of human minds and human beings generally, most of us will be able to understand why we are how we are, how we came about that personality you have that is so difficult to change. Domestication of human beings is exactly the same process with the way we domesticate animals, our pets, and even those one we keep for food. It's the same process. We train our domesticated animal through punishment and reward, repeating it frequently till they act in a particular way we want those pets or the one we want to keep for food later to act. The same process is how we train our kids. Reward and punishment. From a very tender age, we parents, we started inputting lot of different codes, programming, conditioning these kids to be able to fit into the dream they find themselves. Àfi tá bá fẹ́ parọ́ lókù, gbogbo àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké pátápátá tàbí láti kékeré bá ṣe máa ń tọ́ wọn nìyẹn. Tán bá ṣe nǹkan tá fẹ́, they get reward. Tán bá ṣe nǹkan tá fẹ́, we chastise them. That is how we do to dogs. That is how we do to cats. That is why we even do to horses. So, the same process is how every one of us learned everything we know from little. Parents, through their caring when we were little, we as kids, we started paying more attention to them, to observe, to see, to try to understand, to grasp kí ló ń lọ, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀, ibo ni mo bára mi yìí. According to Toltec wisdom, the dream, this entirety, this universe, everything we know that is ongoing, all our consciousness, everything, according to Toltec, is still a dream. Either you are sleeping dreaming or you are awake moving from one place to another, you are still dreaming. So when we are born into an ongoing dream without no manual, without nothing except the genetic memory and instinct to survive. We didn't choose to be part of the dream. We didn't choose our parents. We didn't choose the culture to be born into. We didn't even choose our name. We didn't choose anything. So the only way we can have understanding of this new space we find ourselves is to observe, to pay attention to our parents, to our sister, to our brothers, to everybody around us. And when it's time to talk, we're learning the codes of communications. In the course of learning these codes of communication unconsciously, we started making different agreements. We've even started learning a lot of things before we started to speak. Many things now we don't even remember again how we came about knowing most of the things we know. And this is why domestication of human mind is so effective and easy. Because by the time we begin to have the understanding of where we are, of we knowing ourselves, like around that 3-4 years that we start to understand things, is the exact same period that domestication is taking strong hold on us. Nígbà tí a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní mọra wa tá mọ̀ wípé òkè ilé ayé la wà yìí o, nígbà yẹn iná ni àwọn nǹkan tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kọ́, àwọn beliefs, code of beliefs, expectation, good and bad, normal, abnormal, likes, dislike, all these things, those are the time we also assimilate them. And because that is the time we assimilate them, that is why it becomes part of us and so difficult to change most of these beliefs. Because it's like you knowing something the same time you know yourself. So if yourself happens to be true, those things you assimilated when you were very little, by the same time you are beginning to know yourself, you will definitely feel that they are truth. Because you don't remember how you came about them. So that is why it's so effective. That is why it's so difficult for us to know why and how we are, who we are, how we develop the kind of personality we develop. It's not any other way than through learning. From little, your parents start to tell you, this is how this is, this is how this is. Your sister, your brother, this is how this is. When we do those things they tell us are good, we begin to get addicted to the rewards we get from it. When we don't do what they like and being punished, we started to get addicted to fear of being punished. A little bit, when we grow little, we started to experience things directly ourselves, and every one of us, we start to question things. In the course of questioning things and rebel against some of the things that we don't seem to understand or see reason for their existence, we get punished. Our parents, our sister, every one of them started calling us different names, ignoring us, telling us if you don't do this, what will happen to you? Because of the fear of not getting punished, because of the fear of not getting reward, we started to keep short about our opinions, about our ideas. We started acting, we started performing for the sake of getting reward, for the sake of avoiding fear and avoiding getting punished. the more we do these things repeatedly, the more all this thing is ingrained, is fixed, is wired into us. All this is happening unconsciously. From there, our parents started comparing us with our sister, with other neighbors' kids. Then we started to develop sense of competition. We want to get more reward than our sister. We want to be used as reference point for our sister or for our brother or for the neighbors. And as this is going, we started noticing lies, contradiction from what our mom and dad are telling us and what they do every day. They teach us, you must not lie. When we lie, they chastise or they became angry, so angry. Binu faraya. Kí ilé ọjọ́ yẹn ó tó sú. Wọ́n lè sọ fún ẹ wípé tí lágbájá bá béèrè mi, sọ pé mi ò sí nílé. If someone comes to ask of me, if this particular person comes to ask of me, tell him or her I'm not at home. That same day that they chastise you for lying, you may go to a family house with them and they tell you, if they ask you, you are hungry, even if you are hungry, you should say, no, I'm fine. I'm not hungry. That contradiction started in our life in that manner. Confusion. Which one should I believe? Which one should I follow? In this same era of confusion, we enter school. We follow them to church. We enter into the hands of another agent of domestication, the teacher, the principal in school, the seniors. They started giving us another code, another set of beliefs. Some are similar to those learned at home. Some are totally different. Some are like this with what our parents told us. But in school, we want to ensure anybody we see or outside, we want to judge them based on how they judge us at home, based on our code of belief at home. You can see, you can see how you become who you are. How your sense of judgment has been clouded from little based on your conditioning, based on your programming. So, from school, we discover, just like we didn't choose our name, we didn't choose our parent, we are not allowed to choose what we want to learn. The syllabus has been there, ongoing. Everything in the school has been there. You have to force yourself to fit in. Nobody will ask you, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to learn? What is your interest about life? People should be able, because before I continue, if we are not having all this dogmatic way of living, trying to make everything uniform, there is every tendency that we might have had human beings that can fly like birds. I'm telling you, with how sophisticated this human mechanism is, for us to be able to swim, I'm telling you, for us to be able to swim, for us to be able to do all these big things, all these marvelous things, we would have had kids, we would have had people, human beings that can fly without using any modern technology that we know. But the scope of domestication is to narrow experiences to a particular way and try to avoid every other possibility. Comparing this with domestication of animal, you will notice that when you compare dogs in the wild with dogs at home, you can see that the dogs in the wild live more life, enjoy more life than the restricted dog in the house. The same thing with women. From school, we follow our parents also to church. Some schools also have churches, some school, mosque, or any other religion. We follow our parents to mosque. We started to learn another set of code of beliefs. And as we are learning, making all these agreements with all these beliefs, believing they are absolute true, we are creating voices in our head. One voice for mom, one voice for dad, for the teacher, for the principal, for the senior, for people we meet. As we are going, we are creating these voices in our head. And each voice has different book of law. Some may be similar, some are totally different. If you compare the domestication of animal, if you study it very well, you will have clear understanding of what I'm saying. The very little difference between domestication of animal and human is that the animal's domestication happened by another species, at least for the first time. With time, this is where it meets again with human's method. With time, the mother of the dog we domesticate will be the one to domesticate the kids with our little input of training. The same way with humans. When it gets to a stage, because we see how we are being controlled in school, in mosque, this is what you must do. If you don't do this, this is what you will get. We start to interpret love, care as conditional. Like, since my mom and dad gives me much more affection when I do what they want, that means that is love. If I want to love somebody too, the person must be able to do what I want before I can love them. That is how we started our own description of love. Everything you like, everything you hate, everything you desire to become, everything, all the things you interpret, the kind of interpretation, the kind of judgment you give to things, the kind of reaction, the kind of feelings you have, all these things you learn them through agreements, through repetition, through fear. And as we are in school, as we are acting at home, we act in school. When we also get to church, we have to be acting. All because of the fear. Imagine the description of hell from religious people. You will not want that to happen to you. The fear is so much that you will want to believe everything, even those things that the religious leader, the one that is highly religious, have never experienced. Who has ever experienced hell? Who has ever experienced paradise? The only hell all of us has experienced is the one happening in our head. This mental struggle, this accumulation of different voices is what really give us the stress we have, the hell we are living in. So this domestication process is the beginning of we losing ourselves, our authentic self. Is the reason why we move all around suspecting everyone. Because we know that if I must be acting, if I must be performing, definitely other people must be doing it. And when we see some of the script we used to act, we recognize them fast and we attack that person. You are bad, you are imperfect, you are unworthy, you are based on our expectation, based on how we judge ourselves. Because the same way we judge people is the same way we judge ourselves. So when you are acting a particular character that is not yours, definitely anytime you are meeting other people that's supposed to be out of curiosity, want to listen to these people, want to see their own dream, want to listen to their own dream, their own perspective, which is not a must you accept. But why not just listen? We cannot, because in the course of creating a fake self from ego, we want to protect that fake self by all means. And the way to protect that fake self is to project that same fake self onto others, expecting others to be like that. And when we are talking to people, instead of us to listen, we are struggling in our mind. Is he acting? Is he saying the truth? Is he, and we miss the point of the conversation. Because we've been controlled from little, we want to control what that person will say. We want to control how the person will interpret what we are saying. How? Is all a product of domestication. Comparing with animal. Don't you see a lot of vegans? Lot of vegans now force their dogs, their cats to be vegan. See how crazy that is. It may not be crazy to them based on their own conditioning. But if they analyze themselves very well, using this Toltec wisdom and understanding of how we develop who we are, they will be able to understand that them even making a dog a vegan is automatic. It's not their personal decision. It's as a result of their programming. That is why they also want to program the dog like that. That is why when we want to marry, as we grow, as we are graduating from our home, domestication from our parents, from the society, from church, we don't need them to be stalking us again. Those voices are already there. That will be doing the stalking, that will be doing the judgment, that will be doing the condemnation, that will be doing everything. We will start to be domesticating ourselves. In the course of that, when we want to marry, we'll be looking for, as a man, we'll be looking for a lady to domesticate, to control. As a lady, we'll be looking for a man to domesticate, to control. At work, we will want to domesticate our staff. The president, we want to domesticate the citizens. So, this whole circle, everybody is involved. Over 90% of humans are domesticated. Very few people that are still living in the wild that refuse to have encounter with this civilized world are the only one that we can say they are not domesticated. So the understanding of this will let you know why you are hungry when you listen to the word stupid, why you are happy when you listen to the word you are a very good boy. It is not that the word stupid has any power, but because of the agreements you've made with it unconsciously, anytime you listen to it, you become angry. Yeah, you become angry. If you know that you learn all this, it should not be difficult to unlearn, to start to make new agreement, to drop those one. For example, me now, when I was growing up, there are a lot of agreement, there are a lot of things I was taught in church. But I noticed that this religion, like many other religions, frown at deeper questioning. When you question too much, you are devil, you are evil. Devil is the one making you to question. All this set of beliefs, all this code of beliefs that are based on lies, that are based on just some people wanting to control other people, are the reason why many of us struggle. Because our authentic self want to do something. The judge in our head condemn the action. Then we have to act. Anytime we act, it shows imperfection. The judge is also there again to condemn us for being imperfect. And it's not going to judge us only one time. Every time, the time you make the mistake, you will be judged. Anytime you remember again, you will be judged. And they are going to judge everyone with the same metrics, especially if you are in the same society. You see why it's difficult for some people to fit into a society. For example, see how difficult it is for we blacks, for we Africans that are not born in Europe, in the West. How difficult is it for us to fit in? You see how difficult is this for white people also to fit in when they go to Africa? It is not because blacks are dumb or anything that many people used to think. No! Our program is what is different. In the West, they've been able to achieve very close to fully domesticated environment. They've tried to, they are so perfect in achieving, they are so close to achieving full domestication of all humans in the West. But in Africa, we are half domesticated, half white, depending on environment. So when we get to Europe, we need to change the agreement for us to be able to fit in. We need to start acting in another way because we don't want to be rejected. We don't want to be ourselves. And people in Europe will also judge you based on their own experience, based on their own expectation, based on their own code of belief. Even despite the fact that they know that this person was not brought up here. This person don't know most of these things. We get so angry that people are not the way we want them to be. And when West go there also, they get angry. People are not doing like how they do in Europe. We in Africa, we get angry. They are not doing the way we are doing in Africa. It is not. Aside that, look at relationship wise. Me now, I like big chubby girls. It is not because it is just natural for me to just like them. It's because as I was growing up, chubby girls with big ass are what are considered as hot, as beautiful girls where I was brought up. Everybody, almost everybody, believe to have big ass too, that is beautiful. Get compared to the West. If you are slim, that is what is considered beautiful. In Africa, people pay a lot of money to get big ass, to be big, to be fat. In Europe, when you call people fat, some people can commit suicide. You see? Some people in Africa, because of the conditioning, because they are looking at the world from other people's perspective, even if they like a slim girl, they want to go with someone with big ass because it's seen as a status, as a sign of status, that if you can have big ass, you are enjoying. You can lie. The same thing in the West. Many people in the West likes something big because of the shame. They've made them to assimilate, and the agreement they've made them to make unconsciously that slim girl is the epitome of beauty. Look at blonde, look at blue eyes. Albinos are who we consider with blonde hair in Africa. It's not something it's not something beautiful to us there. Yeah. In Europe, in America, blonde, there was a place, I remember, in the northern part of Nigeria, that a man divorced his wife because the kid have blue eyes. And that blue eyes is what some people have to pay to have blue eyes in the West. You can see that all these choices are not really our choices if we think about it deeply. We are just acting based on our unconscious agreement with all these things. This hand, this thing, this finger, the word finger means this because it's an agreement in for the English speakers. If there is no agreement, in short, if there is no agreement about something, that thing can never be powerful. Your reality is shaped with the kind of agreement you've made. Consciously, unconsciously, it is not only when we are little that we make agreements. We make as you are listening to me now, you are making some agreement, either consciously or unconsciously. Every day by day, we make new agreements. And we wonder why mental crises are so popular. Don't let me deceive you. Almost all of us have mental crises. But some people have been able to investigate why all this, and they've been able to achieve peace. And one of the way of living that can lead to peace is this Toltec wisdom, this Toltec code of living. It's not the only way. There are many ways. I'm just sharing this. Who knows? It may resonate with you. Some people believe the only way to have peace is to go by the alpha mode of living. So you can choose any code of living, but just try to do it out of awareness. Be conscious. Even if you want to act, even if you want to perform, let it be for a particular purpose. Be aware that I am taking up this role, this performer, to achieve this particular purpose. Don't let it be your constant way of life. No matter how perfect mask is, there used to be glitch. There used to be some error sometimes. But being yourself, being your authentic self, or mixing being your authentic self with some aspect of domestication that serves you. It's not that all agreements we made while growing up are bad. You just need to just know which of these agreements is serving you and the agreement that is not serving you, and you drop them. Like me now, any agreement that has to do with abstracting from Christianity, because I was born into a Christian family, anything that has to do with that, I drop it. No matter how much you describe hell to me now, I will just be smiling. Because I've broken that agreement. I've made another agreement with myself. So, we should please, because I've been there, I have, even till now, there are still time that the old conditioning, some of those old agreements still used to give me fear. It's normal, because I've been living with this agreement for a very long time. So the hardwired neurons will take time to dissolve, and the new one I'm making now will take time to be strong. With intensity, with awareness and clarity of purpose, it will be easy to keep on repeating it. Because, like I said in the video I made last time, the result of you analyzing yourself based on the domestication process I just mentioned now, or from anything, using anything from Toltec wisdom to analyze yourself, will give you some answers. We let you know that you fighting your kind of relationship, you having problem in your relationship, is your making. You just don't know unconsciously. What is justice in, for example, everyone having to subscribe to the same kind of relationship, one man, one husband? Why should that be the epitome of normalcy when we have different libido, when we have different interests? Why should you be ashamed of telling people you want varieties, you don't want to be with anybody in particular? Why should you be ashamed to be able to tell your girlfriend or boyfriend that this is the kind of relationship I want? Are you in or no? It's difficult because at times we don't even know what we want. We are not clear. It's difficult because we want to enjoy freedom, but we don't want our partner to enjoy it. It's difficult because we want to control everything. Did you make yourself? Did you bring yourself here? Did you create this dream of this existence? No. Why? Then should you now be struggling to control everything? Just do your best and the result, accept it. The same way you accepted being born, because you have choices if you don't want to live. The way you accepted the decision of Mother Nature to give you to a particular family, a particular culture, you should be able to accept others and know that nobody is inherently bad or good. Our conditioning is what is different. Our programming is what is different. Our process of domestication is what is different. Thank you so much for listening. This is not something that can be covered in a video. We are still going to be making references to this as time goes by in coming episodes. And I want to warn my listeners, in discussing this Toltec wisdom in relation to our experiences and our code of living, there will be a lot of repetition. There will be a lot of repetition. And the reason for this lot of repetition is because we learn the other way around through repetition. If you are going to unlearn, you have to also do it through repetition. It will be difficult in the beginning. It will even be difficult at times to accept that we are domesticated. It's fine. It's the ego that is at play. Investigate it. Be a detective of yourself. Ask yourself, this hunger, this belief, this thing I'm running after, this thing I want to become, is it my choosing? Is it of mine, or I inherited this idea? No way someone can think deeply and have the understanding of how he or she has been domesticated and still go ahead and fight someone because of religion, because of culture, because of belief. When you see someone that is not in support of whatever you do or that dislikes what you do, you will not be angry with the person. You will have compassion for the person that is, because this person is from a different place. If you try to explain and this person is not trying to listen to, you will still have greater empathy that, wow, this person's conditioning is so strong. It's not to ridicule the person, but it is what it is. Me talking now, some time back, there were some things I would fight my life for. But now, I will just smile. Because I know why the person is acting like that. Let's try to go back to ourselves. Let's stop trying to be perfect. In performing, that is impossible. You cannot perfect to be something you are not. But when you return back to your authentic self, nobody can beat you being yourself. It's not possible. The greatest actor cannot perfect being yourself. The same way you can never perfect being someone else. In as much you are not breaking the law, the constitution, or this criminal law, this, in as much you are not breaking that, you have choices. You should question things with awareness and choose with freedom. Drop those agreements, drop those beliefs that you've inherited and you accepted them dogmatically. Question them. And those ones that are not serving you, drop them. The ones that are serving you, reinforce them. And you will see how you will excel in anything you do. You will see how it will be easy for you to be present with whatever you do. Thank you for listening. Till next time. Mwah.